Hi, welcome to Wild Widow Woman podcast. I'm Rachel Krueger, your resident Wild Widow Woman. Um, and on this podcast, we navigate life and loss and the beauty that's found in both of those things. Podcast is a safe, conscious, and conscientious space of just growing through grief and learning, kind of about the beauty in between those things as well. And together we laugh, we cry, but mostly we heal and we rise together, a little wiser, maybe a little wilder, but definitely more alive, unapologetically alive for sure. So this week on the Wild Widow Woman podcast, I am talking about sacred self-care. So, and sacred self is a word, and then care is a word, because that's how I prefer to refer to ourselves as sacred. I find that the longer I think of it that way, the better, the more conscientious I become of treating myself better if I just really emphasize the fact that we have a sacred self to care for. So when you think about self-care, you probably think about getting manicures and pedicures and becoming beautiful and being that queen and all that kind of stuff. And all of that's, all that can be true. But I'm going to talk about 4 aspects around sacred self-care that had changed my life and keep me kind of in balance even today. One of the things that I wrote down that's just an insight of mine is when grief challenges our very existence, sacred self-care becomes survival, without which I would not be breathing in and out today. So I'm going to go through, as I said, the 4 aspects model of the sacred self-care. And then I'm going to expand on each one just a little bit, talk about, how I relate to it, tools that I've used to get me from there to here and back again. And then I'm going to give you a practice and maybe throw in a couple bonuses at the end if I have some time. I'm trying to keep these really short and sweet because, definitely consumable rather than being too much at one time. So the 4 aspects of the model are mind, body, spirit, and emotions. The first one that I'm going to touch on more is the mind. And what I found after my husband passed was that I was scattered and splattered most days if it was a good day, but for the largest part it was just a cloud. My late mother-in-law was a widow before I was, and she enlightened me to the knowledge about the widow's fog, and that's basically just, it feels like there's a cloud in your head for a good long time, 2.5, 3 years ish. The more I heal, the more I feel that cloud lifting. It truly did, kind of in phases. When I began to heal, it was like a whole other lift, if you will. And some of the tools that I've used then, when I didn't know any better, and now, and a little bonus thing that I'm going to throw in there as well are breath, meditation, gentle affirmations, and then an anchor to kind of put those into place. So breath for me, I did have breath work, and breath work is just breath. It's just breathing. And what I find that when I'm anxious, or if I've been hit with something a little unexpected, particularly, and it knocks me out, knocks me for a loop a little bit, just remembering, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, just remembering to breathe. And taking 2 or 3 breaths just like that, just that remedial, not even counting or anything, just puts me in the moment, puts me back in my seat, if you will, gets my head back where my bottom is. And a gal that I used to know from Al-Anon used to say, try to feel the edges of your underwear under your jeans. That'll mean you're in, that your head and your ass are in the right place, which I just found really, really funny. But so yeah, getting in the moment, breath work helps with that. Breathing in, breathing out, and then get in the moment. Meditation, also huge. What I found for me with meditation at first was I had to do a challenge to learn it. I actually just started. The challenge it started on September 1st in 2024. And it's Yogi Brian is the teacher, and it's it was life-changing for me. It's been 100% life-changing, and I can't recommend it higher, but it is just fucking meditation. And he says it, I'm going to say it, it's not anything more. And it certainly isn't anything less, thank goodness for that. But truly meditation is just listening, just being aware at its very base level. And that I can do even in my most panicky state. Gentle affirmations, and by gentle I mean starting small with "I like me," or "Good job, Rach." Little things like that. Doesn't have to be that playlist that just plays affirmations over and over again. You don't got to, just get simple. Just one thing a day. And that's where the practice comes in. Just pick one of those things to do, and do that every day. Or do it every day for a week or change it up after 3 days if you're bored. But, pick one and do that. If you think you can add, breath work, doing a little breathing and a little meditation, more power to you. Do a couple of them. But just pick one. Start small, stay simple. And that's going to move us right into the body. Meditation, as I said, it drops you into the now, which puts you where your body is. Oftentimes our brain is way out somewhere in the future, and that's not where our body is. Our body is right here, right now. And this miraculous body we've been giving holds our emotions for us if we don't let them pass effectively. So, and specifically speaking to grief, feelings of grief, that can cause tension, it can cause pain, it can cause anxiety, it manifests in all different ways in your body. And there are physical symptoms to anxieties. People know you can get rashes and whatnot. Some of the tools that I use for that, just real short, are a body scan. And for me, that's as simple as taking the time to do the breathing. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And then while I'm doing that, breathing in and out, going top of my head to the bottom of my feet. Top of my head to the bottom of my feet. Top of my head to the bottom of my feet. And I say that until I've scanned thoroughly, and sometimes I visualize, crown of my head, down my spine, down my legs, down to my heels, back up the front of me, up my torso and down to my arms and my fingertips, and then back up to my neck and my head. And, you do whatever works for you, but scan your body. And when you find little pockets of tension, pause there. And this is going to be a bonus for you. This is an anchor. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your hand and put it on where that pain is, and you're going to breathe into that ache or that pain. Your body intuitively knows to release that tension. And now you can put your hand there, and it's going to anchor that release. If you're feeling pain, you can just put your hand there, and it's going to anchor that release. You can put your hand back here, and it's going to anchor that release. Remember to breathe. Just remember to breathe. Another thing that you can do with the body that's an overall body wonderfulness is obviously yoga. But slow walks are probably my preference over yoga even. And I don't mean going for a walk like you're exercising. You're not exercising. You're just going for a walk. Stroll, observe, be aware. Feel all four corners of your feet as you walk. Smell, look around, pay attention. Keep your phone in your pocket unless you see something you just got to take a picture of, and then put it away. Post it later. And the practice, what you can practice for that is just a short four-word mantra is, I deserve to relax. And you can say that while you walk. I deserve to relax. I deserve to relax. You can say that when you breathe. I deserve to relax. And the body will relax. Your body responds to what you tell it to do. Which is going to move us right along to the spirit, honestly. So the body, mind, and the spirit, once that, we are practicing and they're being more and more tied together, the beauty of it all is that one of these practices is going to affect all of them at once. So I don't know anybody that's been through grief that it didn't shake their spiritual foundation just a tiny bit. It kind of shook mine a lot. It will shake you. It will awaken you. Grief is a very powerful thing. It is like a tidal wave sometimes, and it can break stuff apart. But it's also very healing as you work through it. Beautiful things come out on the other side, or can, if you allow it to. So a lot of the tools associated with the spirit and that shake and awakening is prayer, obviously ritual, nature, water, reading, and talking. So prayer and talking really are the same thing. I learned in Al-Anon years ago, that's the 12-step, that's my recovery resource. I learned there long ago that prayer was talking to God and meditation was listening. Or prayer was talking and meditation was listening, whatever you choose to call God, higher power of your choosing. And that made a lot of sense to me. And it makes even more sense when you think of it in context of grief. So we can talk to our beloveds that have passed, that have died, gone before us, the saints that have long gone, however you want to refer to it. We can talk to them. I say, Steve, I need you. I need your wisdom. Or I can say, I will look right at Jerry and Joanne on their altar stand and say, guys, I need your wisdom. I need your love. I need your clarity. And there's pictures of people that were good at things, and I will ask them for help with those things. That's prayer to me. Ritual, nature, walking in nature if you can. Water holds memory. You can speak into it, and when you're bathing, or you can have it pouring down on you, it's cleansing, purifying. It's wonderful. And then reading. And I did have written study sacred text, but it's simple as reading. For me, there was a time when I had no sacred text in my life, not that anyone calls sacred other than me. And it was, at some points, it was literally a little motivational blip that came up on, or a widget that was on my phone, and it would give me a dozen or half a dozen words or more that would encourage me to get through the next few hours until the next one popped up. And that was my sacred scripture for a long time. But yeah, whatever's important to you, read it. The practice with that is somehow, through one of those, make a sacred connection. And if I could simplify it for you, especially if you're in a place where all of that sounds great, where do I start? Very simple. Cry. That's a sacred connection. That connects your mind with your body and your emotions and your spirit all at one time. And, other things that you can do outside of yourself, light some incense, light a candle, that kind of stuff. All right. And that brings us to the emotions. Grief being an emotion makes it kind of weird that we talk about the emotions as a whole. But what I found is because grief affects all the other ones so much, grief is love that has nowhere to go. I don't know who said that originally. I wish I did. But what I know what that does inside me is it sparks chaos. Love that doesn't have anywhere to go is just like any other emotion, like anger that you don't know what to do with it, so you suppress it. It comes out sideways. Love that comes out sideways is really weird looking. It doesn't look like anger that you've stuffed. It doesn't look like any of those other emotions that I'm at all familiar with, but it does get a little crazy. It can come out as just acute sadness, that deep dark depression. It can come out as rage, numbness, hysterical joy, even. The tools that I find most helpful, honestly, one that everybody loves to hate, journaling. The love-hate relationship we all have with this little guy. Oh, as much as I love my journal, sometimes I just cannot stand to pick it up. Music, obviously, everything from just binaural beats to the stuff that makes you shake your ass. Tears. Nothing like connecting mind, body, and emotion with your tears. And then letters and voice memos to self. One of the ways that I've done that is to write affirmations or whatnots on my mirror in Sharpie. It comes off with alcohol. It's cool stuff. It's like a whiteboard that nobody knows about. And the practice that I would give you, for whatever it is, and maybe you can start by writing this one on your mirror or in your journal. At the top of the journal, write, all my feelings are welcome here. just that is an invitation for all of your feelings to come. Because remember, the healing is in the feelings. We can't let it go until we let it come. You have to let it come so you can let it go and then let it flow. Because nothing came to stay. Everything, it comes to pass. That's the only constant is change. That's why. So my invitation with you is to choose one practice this week, just one. And like I said, choose one that works well for you. If it only, if you get bored of it after 3 days, choose something else. I'm going to leave it in, ad nauseum in the description underneath. So choose one practice this week. But first, before you choose one, ask yourself, what part of my sacred self needs the most care, the most attention right now? And it'll show up. Just listen. It'll show up. And then, in addition to connecting with yourself, connect with me. I say this every podcast. I'm not just willing. I'm actually really asking. Please reach out to me. I can't build a community unless I have somebody just reach out to me. We can do it together. So, I'm going to put a link to my Instagram on here as well. And I know you can leave comments on Spotify as well as YouTube or wherever this is posted. And then, let's see, I gave you that. Oh, I had one little bonus that I wanted to give, and I've got a couple minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So one of the things about grief or stress in general is that we obsess over stuff, right? Obsess. About many different things. Typically, life is not just one obsession. So pick one right now. And then I want you to set a timer on your phone, whatever, and then hit pause on this after I tell you, or when I tell you to. But I want you to set a timer for 10 minutes. Pick one obsession and obsess about it. I mean, write about it, bitch about it, yell about it, talk about it. Get it out of your head, though. Don't just think about it. Write it down, put it in your phone, type it into your phone, voice record it, whatever it is you need to do. Just obsess about it. 10 whole minutes. That is 6,000 seconds. Okay? It's a long time. You can do it. It's a long time. Okay, so do that. And then, when you're done with that, I want you to pick one thing that you want to see better, or one thing you want to see. Maybe you just want to see kindness. Maybe you want to see it in other people. That's okay. Maybe you want to find love. That's okay. Or maybe you want to get a new cat or a new dog. Okay? Or you want to buy a new outfit, or you want to go out of town, or whatever it is. Pick one thing, a project, a concept, an idea, a person, maybe that's not alive, not somebody to obsess over. Let's not do a person. Pick something different, something that makes you happy, and obsess about that. And then every time the old one comes up, do whatever it is you would be doing, thinking about it, writing about it, bitching about it, into a voicemail or whatever. Whatever it is you're doing, do it about the new thing, okay? So obsess that way. Okay, that's my bonus. Now, and while you're at it, remember, you're not doing it wrong. Doesn't matter how you're doing it, you're not doing it wrong. There is no correct way. So you're not doing it wrong. And remember, you're not broken. So we're not trying to fix anything here. You're merely holding space for you. So any small act or action, any small inkling toward the sacred self that you have is enough. Whatever you're doing is enough. Done in love toward sacred self is enough. And remember, obviously reach out to me. But remember, you are loved. If no one else has told it to you, you are loved. And you are never, ever, ever, ever alone. Peace, y'all.